Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch, click on the link in the description below to buy it at the lowest price anywhere online. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Cellini Time Rose Gold with a white index dial, reference 50505. It's rose gold with a white index dial. I'm going to talk to you about the bezel, dial, case, bracelet, movement, try it on, and give you my thoughts. So let's start. This is the Rolex Cellini line. Now the Cellini line has been around since approximately 1970, and it's Rolex's dress watch line. Now, typically, Rolex is known for making what's called tool watches that have a functional purpose, such as a diving watch or a diver watch like a Submariner, or exploring watch like the Explorer, or like a pilot's watch like the GMT, Yachtmaster watch for those who are sailing, and so on and so forth. They make a lot of those versions, or those tool watches, which are insanely popular, and it's probably the reason why Rolex is the number one watch selling brand in the world, demanding most of the market share, easily the largest market share. The Cellini line is its dress line version. So it makes sense if you think of it this way. Rolex is designing watches that divers can use, that explorers can use. They even make it for racers. People who are racing cars, you can use the Daytona. At least that's the theme. And for those who are sailing boats, can have a Yachtmaster. And now they even have a Skydweller for those who are traveling and like to use it for multiple time zones. And so they make a lot of different lines. So it makes sense that they would also make a line for those who are dressing up, right? If you have a tool watch for when you're going to play sports or do activities, it also makes sense to have a dedicated watch when you're doing dress activities. For example, going to the opera or fancy dinner or concert or some kind of event where you need to be in formal wear. This is Rolex's answer to that, the Cellini line. The Cellini line has been out. It was named after an Italian goldsmith named Benvenuto Cellini. I can only imagine this person was probably Italian. And they made many different versions and a ton of variations of the Cellini line. The line that you're looking at right here, the 50505, is the latest and last version of the Cellini line. Now, the Cellini line was pretty much discontinued, I want to say approximately 2019 or so, and the only one left was the moon phase version of it. And so actually, I think it was discontinued right around 2022 or something like that. Maybe not 2020, around 2022, I think. Sorry. It was pretty much discontinued. They just took it off their website. The only one left was their moon phase. Now, you might have thought, well, that's the end of the Cellini line. Well, not so fast. They actually produced another line of dress watches. They just rebranded the line and called it the 1908 or 1908, which I think is probably going to take over the Cellini line, or they'll just make another section of it. Now, it makes total sense that Rolex would make this dress line, and sometimes Rolex does that. They discontinue a line, let it build some hype behind it, and then bring it back, and so that is more popular, because the Cellini line never did very well. A lot of the Rolex stores would have a bunch of Cellinis in stock and nobody would buy them. They just kind of sit around and they get sold at a discount, which was not what Rolex wanted. So at some point, I think around 21 or 22, Rolex decided, you know what, the Cellinis, we're going to only do made to order. So you have to order it. We're not going to leave them in display. If you want it, you tell us, we'll order it and it'll be here. But now they've discontinued that line. So, you know, you have to either buy one from jazztime.com, which is the maker of this video and who I work for. So you can click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com for the lowest price anywhere online. And you can't buy this in the authorized dealer, so that's another reason why you should buy it from us. Okay, so the Cellini line has been discontinued. It's probably followed up by the 1908, or it might come back altogether. And I think they'll probably expand on the dress watch line, because why not? They've expanded on every other line: diving, race car driving, pilot, air, you name it, exploring, whatever. They've expanded on all those other lines, and it just makes sense that they would expand on this dress line. Okay. Now, when Rolex came out with this Cellini 50505, they did so with several different variations. They put some funky diamonds in the dial, which did not do that well. They did some Roman numerals, and then they did a mix of Roman numerals with index markers. All those did not do that great. This is probably my favorite version of it, because it's just flat. It's just straight index dial, and it's a dress watch. Dress watch meaning you're probably wearing a suit with it, or a tuxedo, or something fancy in a formal setting. So it makes sense to put the watch on leather band, either black or brown, whichever one, and then keep the dial as simple as possible. And keeping it with these index markers is perfect. Now, I like what Rolex did with the bezel. Let's talk about that a bit. It's actually like a double bezel. And what I mean by that is they took this inner ring is kind of a dome bezel, it's flat. And then the outer ring kind of looks like the fluted bezel in some ways, or like a coin edge. It in some ways is reminiscent of a fluted bezel. And so I kind of like that they've kept that. It's like kind of pays homage to their most successful line, which is the Datejust, but at the same time it doesn't copy it, and it kind of makes a little variation of it. So it's still a Rolex in that it carries that same architecture, but it's still its own line, which is the Cellini line. So to me, it looks quite beautiful. I like it. And get this, if you look at its competitors, this is Rolex's dress line. Now, if you look at its competitors, for example, Patek Philippe, the Patek Philippe has a dress line called the Calatrava, but the Calatravas are starting, I believe, at $30,000 to start, and they have a massive wait list. So you can't even get one, or it's not so easy to get one, and it's $30,000 to start. Now the Rolex Cellini, very good dress watch, probably just as good as the Patek Philippe. They both tell time only, so how hard can it be to make a time only watch, right? And it's not like Rolex is making crappier watches than Patek. Rolex is making excellent watches as well. Yeah, it might not have the detail of Patek Philippe, but still, come on, it's a top watch brand, and they're doing excellent quality. So at any rate, that's who its competitor would be, because I put Rolex right up there in terms of prestige and stuff with Patek Philippe. I believe the top watchmakers are Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and Rolex. These are the three biggest. And maybe you could throw in Richard Mille there. But anyways, those three are the three big dogs. All right. And this is their dress version. I guess you could include Vacheron. And if we were to include Vacheron, you can consider the Patrimony line, which is also a dress line. So anyways, the Cellini is retailing around 15,000 or so, and we're selling it for right around there on jazztime.com. Just go to our website, or click on the link in the description below, and you'll see that for this price range, mid-teens, you can't really get a dress watch in this price range from a top manufacturer in Rolex. So I think they got to bring it back. In fact, they've already brought it back with the 1908, or you can buy the Cellini. All right, anyways, so that's the bezel. The dial I kind of already went through. I think this one's nice, and it doesn't have lume, by the way. And lume is what you use to see it at night. So if you want to read your watch at night, you can't do that. But typically in dress watches, you don't put lume in it. A lot of manufacturers don't do that. For example, like Patek Philippe's, a lot of their dress watches do not have lume because they're dress watches, so you cannot see them at night. But it allows the hands to be done very beautifully in gold instead. Okay. All right. Now the case is let's see, how many millimeters is this guy? It's a 39 millimeters. So it's also quite a perfect size. It's smaller than the sports watch, which is 40, and a little bit larger than the Datejust, which is typically been 36 to 40. And so 39 is also a very good size. Not too big, not too small. Okay. Okay, so that's the case here, and the case is made here as you see in rose gold. Now the crown is not a screw down crown, and also the case back, they don't need to make it as watertight because the watch is not meant to go diving. It's not a tool watch. I don't know if they really think that matters all that much, but the crown looks nice. It looks a little different. Definitely looks different from your other Rolex crowns. Kind of has this angle to it here, and it kind of plays off the same look as the bezel. It's quite nice. Okay, now here's the buckle, or the buckle as you see. Not too much to explain here, and the strap. The strap, of course, you can change the strap because leather after some time starts to go bad. So here it is on black. You can also do brown. There's also plenty of customs options. Okay, anyways, and the movement, you can't see it anyways, so not much to talk about. So let's try it on. I'm 200 pounds, 6 foot tall. I have a 7.5-inch wrist, and as you can see, the watch looks quite nice on me, and it could look even better on you. Should you want to buy it, you would go to jazztime.com or click on the link in the description below. And I kind of gave you my thoughts already, which is that at this price range, everything you have to kind of look at in terms of price too, right? So in terms of this price range, mid-teens, it's really unbeatable when it comes to this dress watch. They've kind of figured out, okay, at this price point, we don't have a lot of competition. Let's make a good dress watch that still has a fantastic name, and let's make some money. So that's what they've done, and this is the result of it. So I think it's a pretty good watch. Now, if you compare it to a Calatrava, I mean, quality-wise, I don't know. It's hard to say. How do you say that a Calatrava has better quality? By what standard? What, the case is better or the movement's better? I mean, I'm not really sure. Are you a watchmaker? It's hard to tell, So, I think at this level, when they're making watches, they're all just really good. Why is a Calatrava maybe more money? Because they're more rare. There's not as many of them, etc., etc. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's a better watch in terms of quality. I think this watch will probably last you your lifetime as well. But anyways, I think it's a really good watch, and I definitely would wear it if I had one. And if you like it, buy it at jazztime.com, JAZTIME.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.